I'm excited. Oh my days. I am excited. Right, you're here with me today, and you know that my keyword is excitement, and I generally am. I'm really thrilled. I'm delighted beyond words because I have an incredible superwoman who has, oh, she's going to design you up for success. Just by listening in today, I guarantee you're going to skyrocket because she has something incredible to deliver to you and to the world. And she really shapes and changes everything in terms of your branding, your narrative, things that you even didn't think about. She knows it. She knows it inside out, and she has that talent. She's gifted beyond measure. Not everyone has that ability to see what others don't. She is the person. So before I introduce her, I want to remind you, those who are listening, that you're on the Superwoman podcast, and it's all about elevating women of colour to smash past every concrete ceiling that society has told us we can't, because we know that we can. Why can we? Because we're superwomen, and superwomen can. And today you have got an incredible superwoman. I'm delighted. Like, literally, it's been weeks of in the making before Christmas getting on here, and you're in for an absolute treat. So without further ado, I have Charelle Griffin, who is ready to rock your world. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I mean, how am I meant to follow that intro? Why? You are bringing the energy. I'm like, yes, got to get going now, got to get going. So my name is Cherelle Griffith, and I am a marketing strategist and business mentor, predominantly working with people in who are coaches, consultants, online service providers. My big thing is about helping people who are small in team size, but big in ambition. Like, I'm definitely someone that's like, you don't have to have this massive team to be like, that's the success of being a business owner, entrepreneur. I'm like, absolutely, no matter what your size is, when you are strategic, and for me that comes down all to one, getting really clear about what you want to achieve in your life, and then designing your business purposefully in order to achieve that.
Wow. Like, I feel quite ambitious now just talking to you.
Yes.
So tell me what actually got you started, because I know that everyone has their story. What is your story?
So this definitely was not when people say what do you want to be when you're younger, obviously that was not what I woke up and wanted to be. I wanted to be like a pop star on the stage. I was really one of those people that was torn as a child. I was really into my maths and my science, but I was really creative. I toured Europe, and I actually ended up going to do my degree in dance. So yeah, if you've ever seen me, people, I'm a bit of a shimmy and a shaker in my videos, and that's where it comes from. I'm definitely someone that would be oh yeah, give me the shimmy. But the more sciencey, mathematical side of me also was always wanting to find this combination, and always struggling in between. And when I was doing my degree in my third year, there was a project where some people got to be in a student company and some people got to run that company, and I was that. And that year was the first year in 10 years that they actually made a profit. And the head of the dance department was like, you realize you're the only person that's ever made a profit? I was like, yeah, but it's a business. And she was like, yeah, I get that. But she was like, no one's, and basically it was the most anyone had ever sold in terms of booking performances across the country, booking in workshops, and actually someone who managed the books properly to actually make a profitable business. And I had done business at A-level and thought this was literally clearly what it was amazing. I didn't understand why you hadn't done GCSE earlier in life. And so it was really evident to me that I was this is what I want to do. And so I actually probably spent virtually the next 10 years. I moved to London and I was working in marketing and behind the scenes supporting freelancers in the creative space. So I worked for some of the biggest companies doing West End productions, major ticketing agencies. And really that's what I got my teeth into marketing. And marketing for me is this perfect blend of you've got to be creative, you've got to write stuff, you've got to make stuff, you've got to edit, you've got to record all these things. But if you do not do the maths, if you do not actually crunch your data, pay attention to the numbers, it's not going to happen. And as business owners, it's both of those things are what you need. I work with a lot of people who are really creative, that's why they've started a business. But I'm if you can't actually put this into a strategy, if you can't be practical, if we can't do your numbers, it's not going to last. And I'm all about creating businesses that are yes, this is going to support your lifestyle and your dream, but it's going to last. No one's here to be a one-hit wonder.
Raise the roof. Oh my days. I love the word that I'm hearing a lot is strategy. And that I really feel that, because a lot of the time people don't understand that you need a strategy. You
Yeah.
definitely need it. It's not even a let's think about this, we can do it. And continuing the momentum as well is a strong point. So I'm so great. You know, the fact that you made profit to a business, it's just made it's actually cracked me up that they didn't realize that was what they needed to do.
And I think, you know, I mean, obviously, like, it was a student company. Obviously, some people were doing that as they were doing it as part of their degree. It's not their thing they're meant to do. But I think it just really highlighted for me, like, that was the way my brain always was. Like, I definitely was always someone, I think I remember when I was like 15 or 16, I like remember telling my dad that he should open a Subway franchise. And it was like, Subway was pretty new. And I think I'm from Nottingham at the time, it had one, now it has 3. I'm like, you could have been that number 2 or 3. I told you. I remember like getting the paperwork. Like, I think I was just always that type of person that was like interested in business.
You should have done it. You should have just.
No, I couldn't. I was too young. Like, so I remember telling my dad, like,
give me the money. Come on, you could have done it. You could have had this. Oh, what a well, I say what a shame, but look at you now. Look where you are, and look how successful you are. And not only that, but you're creating successful businesses that are not just successful for, like you said, the here and now, but are sustainable. And that's the difference. And it's something that I actually don't hear a lot of people, you know, businesses telling other coaches that they're going to make you sustainable, they're going to make this last. And that is rare. I'm telling you, it's rare. I don't even hear that in any playbooks because it's not there. It's just like, make money now, you know, rich.
Yeah, but that's what sells.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Schemes. You're gonna have like £1 million overnight. Oh, the things that come into my DMs all the time.
Yeah.
I can turn you into a millionaire in 90 days. I'm like, really?
But the thing is, that's what sells. So that's why people are always going to be throwing out that marketing message. And I'm really conscious, like, I like moved into the online space in 2016 when I started a company called Propel Her. And I'm like, in what? So that must be like 7, we're in our 8th year now. I have seen those people that have built that online business that rocketed. They were everywhere. Every time I scrolled, they were there. They made their money. I'm like, where are they now? No, like, I don't know about them. And some of them, don't get me wrong, I'm sure some people made their money left fine. Some people make a lot of money and actually it's all disappeared now. They haven't been able to sustain it. And also, like, my big thing as well is like, this is not just about money that comes to your business. It's like, I really see business as a tool for building wealth. I'm really passionate, particularly about women, like learning how to make money, how to save it, how to invest it. And so I'm like, the long-term stuff of it for me is because I'm like, that's how we change your life. That's how we actually get you in a financial position for you to be in control.
Why do I keep feeling like I need to raise
I don't know. She's like,
raise the roof. Yeah, because it's rare. You're rare. You are rare, and what you're saying is rare. We don't hear that enough. And again, going back to the narrative about Black women, we are constantly living in this societal thought that to say that we need to be doing things in the now, and no one's really pushing us to have generational wealth. So we're hearing it only now. You know, only now we're hearing generational wealth, and we need to be making sure that we are sustainable to pass it on to our children and our children's children. And how do we do that? And we are creating businesses. More women than ever are creating businesses. More Black women than ever are creating businesses, but not every one of them, 1%, actually able to last past the 2-year mark. So that means there's more to be done. They need to have individuals like yourself who's setting them up for success. And doing things in the right way. You know, integrity is key, isn't it?
And like your thing you're saying about like how many survive, I also have this like bigger theory about what's not really reported now, which is actually like, so the area I specialize in is people, obviously they're a service based. And actually now there is a thing where I'm like, like the business, is the business still running, but actually is that properly supporting you? Like, I think there's people that technically on paper have still got a business, but if we really look at like some basic definition of successful business, it's not. So yeah, the stats are scary about, there are more and more people, like the barriers to entry to starting a business are lower, but actually again, that's why I think actually so many people don't have the strategy in place and they haven't made some of those critical, like foundational decisions. Because when you had a bricks and mortar and you had serious money, you were like, okay, I've got to be serious. Like, especially like if you had to apply for funding, if you had to ask for a loan, etc., you did the work. And I'm not saying that we need to go back to the days of writing a 100-page business plan before you start a business, but now when you can just be like, oh, I can just open like a social media and I can start doing something, and I can just like get a little like payment button on Stripe and people can pay me. Sometimes then we're just rushing in a bit too much and we're not doing those things that are needed to make a business that is for the long term.
Yeah, I agree with that. So just pulling yourself back, making sure that you've got a plan. In fact, that's another thing, is the amount of times that people don't even have a business plan. Like it feels like it's so archaic that people say business plan, what? Not even a one pager. Like, there is no plan. They just going for it, going for gold with no plan. And I'm definitely one for and it's interesting because I want to just let you know that my husband he's in business as well, and we're complete polar opposites. Like, I'm the planner. I don't know if it's my HR background, but I'm the planner, strategy, all that's really key to me. And I'm just going to go with the flow. And it's kind of worked for him so far. He's been in business 15 years. He's got a 6-figure business. It's worked for him, but I don't think that is he's an outlier. That is not everybody. He's an outlier. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. Don't follow him. Don't use his tools, because he hasn't got any to share, because he just like, I couldn't even say, like, set it up, let's find out how you made this, because he doesn't have it. He's like, I didn't write anything down. I don't have any. He doesn't live like that. I wish he did. He doesn't. So that's the thing. And I agree with everything you're saying there. Now, I'm interested to know, because you do have a business, and it's an amazing business. It really is. What tips do you have to help other women, especially women of color who do have other more setbacks, to kind of shape their success as you have done, and with that business mindset that you have?
So I think really, actually, the thing, like, there's obviously, like, I talk about strategy and, like, yeah, you need all that stuff, but actually what I think, particularly as women of color in, like, nowadays in this world, is obviously sometimes the mental blocks that actually hold people back. Because the fact is, running a business requires you to really grow. And as you can tell, I'm a big reader. Like, personal development was definitely, like, what changed my life. Like, I'm really investing in growing as a person, but nothing prepares you for how much you have to grow once you run a business. And, like, one of the things, for example, I'm helping people a lot with is like being visible. And I know myself as someone that looked at the space and was like, most of what you class as my competitors are predominantly white men. And then to put yourself in these things and be like, actually, how do I compete against this? How am I different? Like, not let that feel like, okay, I shouldn't be in that space. And I think that's one of the things now, is if you are someone that is trying to grow a business and you don't necessarily feel like, you're probably not going to be the majority, and you might actually be one of the only, it's like, that doesn't matter. I can put my face out there and own that. And I think also, like, putting your face, there's a long time, like, I'll be really honest, I started by blogging because I was like, you can read my words and you don't necessarily need to know who I am. And so really owning, like, and that took me having to go through mindset blocks to be like, I can be visible, people can see the face and still spend the money. And I know I'm not the only one. I've definitely helped other clients, especially other women of color, to get through that. So I think, normally you are your own worst enemy when it comes to growing your business.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. It just reminded me of a lady who was a cake business owner, and she would put everything on Instagram. It would just be cakes. She never showed her face.
Yeah.
And the reason why she didn't show her face is because she was extremely good at what she did. She made a huge living out of it. And she felt she showed her face, which was a black face, that what would happen is no one would buy. And it took a long time. And like you said, that mindset before she made the decision, I want to actually show up as me. And she's even more successful. She's literally even more successful, because people are like, wow, I did, wow, this is great. Like, so and people feel like they're investing in even more than what they were investing in before. So your face and your visibility is actually who you are. You've got to be able to be out there in the world. And how do you do that, though? How do you build visibility? How do you change the mindset? I know you just said, do that, but how?
I mean, I think starting off small is the way. And so particularly, like, if we talk about, like, visibility in video, which is probably a thing that a lot of people are, like, afraid of when it comes to business. I feel like most people have got a bit more comfortable about, like, dropping the odd picture in, but I think video is usually one where I get people being like, I ain't doing it. And I went on a massive journey last year. I really challenged myself to go onto TikTok and end up creating videos every single day. So I'm like, I know when it comes to video, like, what showing up and putting your face out there means. But actually, what I always say to people is some types of video are less scary than others. And it's about trying to find your format. Like, I am 100% advocate of, you need to use video in your marketing, but that doesn't mean you have to start a YouTube channel tomorrow. That doesn't mean you have to be go live every single day on TikTok. Actually, what you need to do is look and think to yourself, what is going to be the least scary? So I always look, there's a difference between, do you want to create videos where you are recording it and then you're like, yeah, you can go back, you can edit, you can do 17 takes. Like that was how I started. I had a YouTube channel and it would take me hours to create a 3-minute video, but I got a video out and I did that for a while, and that obviously brought my confidence up. And then I was like, actually no, now I can go live. And now I prefer going live because I'm like, I ain't got the time to sit down and edit it and like judge it. Like I still hate hearing my voice. Like I had a podcast, I've had a YouTube channel, but to sit and listen to it, I hate it. So if I go live, I don't have to deal with any of that. So that's the thing. Like, do you want to do something recorded and then you have to listen back and you edit it, or would you rather go live? And then there's also like, do you want to do something by yourself, or would you rather do something like this? Do you want to be talking to someone else? Sometimes having someone else to talk to makes a massive difference. Whereas like I can talk to the camera and I'm like, I can do it now. People are like, it's so weird. Like there's no one in the room with you. What are you doing? And so even just starting to answer those questions, and it's like, okay, which one of those feels the least making me feel sick? Start with that.
No, I'm gonna have to, there's two things I want to go and go back on, because one of the things that you said, I do TikTok every day. So every day. We're gonna put TikTok below. I don't know, how do you do TikTok? How?
So so basically,
how do you do that?
I know. So I challenged myself to go like one video a day from like the 4th of January last year, so 2022. And I was like, I'm going to do it 30 days. Let's see what happens. Because I'm someone I'm a generalist marketer. So I always say, whoever comes to me, I'm never going to be like, you have to be on a certain platform or channel. I'm always like, we will look based on your business, who you are, and who your ideal client is, to work out what is the best combination. And given the rise in TikTok, I thought there's only so long before someone's going to ask me. And really, TikTok has quite a unique community and feel and vibe. And I was like, if you don't throw yourself into it, I'm not going to be able to properly advise. So I was like, I'm going to go every day, one video every day. And then after 30 days, I realized that wasn't enough. And so I did 2 videos a day from like February all the way through to August, where then I said, I'm going to do 3 a day. I did 3 a day. It didn't do anything beneficial to the stats. I've got a whole blog post about where I would crunch it all so you can see exactly what happened. I took it back to 2 a day, and now actually for this year I've gone back to 1. But the thing is, once you start doing it, it just becomes normal. So I'm a big advocate of like batch creating content anyway. So I'm someone that will be like, on a Monday, I'll wash my hair, I do my face, and then I will create videos. And so I just make the 7 for the week. And actually then as the week goes on, what started to happen was I'd be inspired when I was doing something and I'd record another one, and then you start to build that batch. So it's definitely not, I say to people like, don't aim. And that's the same with all content. Is I'm like, start with a frequency that feels really manageable. Like one a day for me, as someone who had been for years making like 1 post a single day on Instagram, I felt like, and doing stories every single day, I thought I can do that. So start with something realistic, and then if you're like, right, fine, I can do this, I've done this for a month, you're like, maybe now I up it. And so that principle is exactly what I did for TikTok, but it's what I teach for everything when it comes to content creation.
I absolutely love it. And I love the confidence. I think that's the thing as well. You've got confidence. You made me laugh about, I just wash my hair on Monday and then that's it. I'm gone. I'm done. I've got my 7 out of the way. And I was thinking, what if it gets to Wednesday and you re-record, you can do your hair again?
No, that's why this looks like this today.
I love it like that. That's great. It's amazing. No, I love it like that. So first, like you're literally just like raising the roof, blowing my mind. And listen, this is gold dust. This is like literally golden nuggets. Visibility is key, and they talk about video being king. You literally have to get visible. And I myself struggled. I struggled. So I'm going to be with everyone who's there to say I struggled. And I am generally a positive, confident advocate person. I struggled with it. And I realized once you've done exactly what you said, once you've done a couple of lives, realize you're talking to yourself. Like I didn't mind talking to myself. I could see myself and like, oh, this is pretty cool. Actually, I actually started to like it. So I'm gonna say that if you are struggling in any way about getting visible, just try to just start by recording it. As you said, just do what makes you feel comfortable first, and then you'll skyrocket after that. Anything is easy, anything's possible. I started to do reels after that and started to enjoy it. I accidentally deleted a really successful reel because I'm not.
No.
I know it was like 15,000 and it was like trending, and I'm accidentally, my kids thought, press delete, and it was on Instagram, and I was like, is that like delete? Like, is that actually gone?
Yeah, delete. That's all we want it
Gone.
means.
I was like, oh, do I do it again or just leave it? And I've just left it and thought I'll do more. It's okay. It's just a sign that actually there's something that I found it and I actually enjoy it. I enjoy doing reels, enjoy doing reels with my kids. So if you go on Instagram, I'm there as well. But more importantly, I want to learn from you. So the tips are, did you hear that? Build your confidence, get visible, get that mindset, and really push past what you've just said. Now, I want to know more about your business because you kind of talked about it at the very beginning, but I want to know more about what you do. So can you kind of shape that for me so that if someone's watching, they can say, I need that, and they can tap in today?
Yeah. So I mainly work with people one-on-one. So as I said, I'm really someone that's passionate about finding that magic sweet spot between like what marketing you need based on your ideal client, your business, and you. And that bit's really important. Like, so I'm someone that's, I understand how big businesses work, and that type of marketing can be exactly the same. Like, you can just copy your competitor because it's a marketer that's doing it. It's someone who's trained in all these things. Whereas when you're small, if you're doing your own marketing and you're trying to just copy your competitor and you've been like, this is not working, this is what happens when people do cookie cutter marketing strategies, it's because it's not made for you. And so like, that's what, like, when people always say to me like, are you going to make me dance on Instagram? And I'm like, no. Like, I literally have never ever had a client that I've made dance, because for me that's like the easiest thing. Like, stick on the camera, woo, woo, put a few texts on, done. Whereas for someone else, that's like, I want to pull my eyes out. So my thing is like, I have to do it one-on-one so we can really get to the like that sweet spot in between. And then so some people I work two ways. So one is just like, you can have a strategy day with me. I work with you for a day to really like go through your whole business and help you understand exactly what you'll be doing. And this can be a combination of, if you only need content and you're like, it's just the marketing, that's the bit that needs sorting out, we do that. But then for quite a lot of other people, I'll actually do some of the bits behind. So like, I do one where I help people for the whole year put a plan for their business. But I'm like, if you haven't got your offers right and you haven't got your pricing, and I'm not confident that even when you can physically do this, like, one of my things is, as a solopreneur, your marketing is part of the picture, and I want to make sure your strategy works. So I'm always like, how does this sit along all the other hats you wear as a solopreneur? Because the reality is, we are juggling so much. And I'm like a one-person strategy, which means, can you deliver that strategy alongside doing all your client calls, doing all your admin, doing your bookkeeping, still living the life you want to live, and all that stuff?
Honestly, you're a rarity. Like, you don't understand how rare you are. Like, I've never heard someone going, they usually give you this big strategy, this plan, or whatever it is, and then get on with it. They don't really consider that actually you're a solopreneur and you've got no time, and you may have kids and you actually have a life that needs to run in order for you to live. So yeah, that's so true, and no one considers it. I've seen a lot, and I don't really think that people tend to consider it. Not everyone does.
I think that's the difference of someone. So I do all my own marketing, and I think that's the difference. A lot of people that learn now from marketing is someone that has a team that's doing it, and so they've lost touch with the actual reality. Like, I'm someone that I'm like, I've had a podcast, I've had a YouTube channel, I've had a blog, I've been on every single social media planner, I send out emails every week. I know, I can tell you exactly how long it takes me to do those tasks. So I know that if I'm telling you to be like, go make 25 videos, you're like, that's my whole week, love. Like, how am I going to do anything else? That's like the whole thing.
You would tell someone to make 25 videos?
No, I'm saying I wouldn't, because
okay, good.
A big business could do that, because they could have someone who is just making video creation. Do you get what I mean? It's a different thing when you're running it yourself. So that's one way I work with people, just for the day. And then other people, I do business mentoring where I work for them like 6 months plus, because what I've actually realized is, when you run a business by yourself, like, you can have that strategy, but the reality, as I said, like, the mindset stuff comes into play. And also, like, to keep going, to like, when the things pop up, when you're trying to implement it, you've got to learn new things. So I'll be like doing trainings with people, and I'm giving them accountability, and I'm giving that ongoing support with other business decisions that come up, because a lot of people don't actually have someone that's got that brain to be able to be like, this is what you need to do.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And I'm going to let you know that I literally have a coach for everything in my business. I don't want anyone to think and come on here and think I'm doing it all. I actually outsource a lot of stuff. The people thinking, I've got 5 children, almost 6, I'm pregnant with the 6, how am I doing it all? People ask me that all the time. And for me, it's hiring somebody like yourself who has that knowledge and that skill to kind of see me through. So I have coached some business and marketing and mindset. I literally have people who are in my corner all the time. I do not do this alone. You need to make sure that if you're stepping out into business, you have your team, and it can be people that you're outsourcing, and you've grabbed the right person like Charelle, because basically we're not experts in everything. We're only gifted in so much. You know, we're just not gifted in everything. I want to be able to work in my mode of genius, and that is not everything. I am not a website designer. That's not me. I'm not doing it. And I have heard people who've got businesses saying things like, I'm building my website. And like, are you a website builder? No, I'm just learning how to do it. How long is that taking you? Like, why would you do that? Just like, and I know that resources are a big thing, but wherever you can take that time and use your investment wisely, it'll be things that you are not gifted in, and you can move it to the right person, and it's always got to be the right person and the right finances as well.
And I think there's also combinations of being, like you said, like, not, there's a big difference, I think, when you come out by yourself to be like, what things do you need to also outsource? And it's like, if you don't have the money and the resources right now, then it's also like, okay, well, what does that look like in terms of what are my gaps that I need to improve in? So like, I will say to some people, it's like, I will make that strategy, and it goes to a VA, and I've had meetings, we'll have a strategy day with the three of us. So I'll have the actual founder, and I'll have like a VA, because they're like, I'm outsourcing it. But then sometimes it's like, actually, you could upskill yourself enough in that area, but it's like, you just need to give yourself a little bit of time, and it's better to work with someone than to spend hours trying to find something on Google. And I think also that's then when you get conflicting information. Like, one of the biggest reasons I come across people with overwhelm when it comes to marketing is there are so many ways. And actually, when I help people, and I'm literally like, you're going to do these 4 things, and they're the only things, and any other shiny object that gets announced this year, do not worry about it. Do not focus on it. Like, that is only for when you've got a team. And that is a big thing about running a business by yourself, is being really like, not getting distracted by the shiny objects, and like that guilt of feeling like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. But it's like, no, you can't do everything.
No, you can't do everything. And I like the idea that what you just said. And yes, I do outsource a lot, but I do keep things that I enjoy. Like, I enjoy writing. You know, it's not my biggest strength in terms of, I'm dyslexic, but I keep that as my thing. Yeah, there are some written work that I do outsource, but the majority of the things I enjoy, like LinkedIn writing, I do it myself because I like it. So take the time to upskill yourself in things you like, outsource things you don't like. And where you think you need an expert, like marketing, because you're not skilled in that area, get someone like Charelle, like literally, and someone that really cares about you as a small business owner as well, not somebody who is going to throw everything at you and say, you've got to do this now. And the reality is, you can't do it, you can't achieve it. So that just kind of gives me the question into you as a person, Charelle, because you help a lot and you give a lot by the sound of it and what you've said, but how do you look after your well-being and you as a person to keep your business running? Because you've got a business as well, you're a small business, it's the same as everyone else.
So I am someone that definitely has like really worked on like my habits. So like in terms of like my morning routine, and I was saying, like, I feel this afternoon, I just got on this like freezing, I feel like it must be like 2 degrees outside at the moment, walk, but I try and make sure I go out on a walk every single day. Like, I think in terms of having a routine about what I do in the morning, getting my steps in, I do yoga, like trying to do the healthy things that I've learned from the books and actually implement them. That's something I really do. I have got other like support. So I have got marketing mentors that mean that I can make sure that I am on top of my game. And also for me, like, as someone who is like an extrovert, is constantly being like, how do I keep actually someone who works from home, my energy levels up? So like, one of my things this year is definitely, I've been like booking in more conferences and events and getting out, because in order for me to actually keep going, it's like I have to keep filling that cup up.
Yeah, definitely. You have to, you back, because you're getting all the energy from everybody else. And I you won't even believe this, that I actually believe I'm a fake extrovert. Like,
fake one.
It must be, I'm a fake extrovert. Like, I am the person that knows what I need to do. I know I need to network. I know I need to be in those places, and I will make the effort to be there. But I have to go away then and sit in my dark little corner to get, because it drains me so much.
Yes.
And then when I've been, it drains me. I'm like, I'm so drained. Why am I so drained? And it's because I've had all this, like, literally sucked energy out of me. But then I'll be back in it again, and I'll, start again. And so when I was young, I was painfully shy. I was absolutely painfully shy. So I feel like that I've and my mum put me in drama school and told me to build confidence and build like this. And I think I built this person around myself. But so I can understand what you're saying, but I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm like the idea, like, so I'm just encouraging those, maybe not fake introverts, but maybe I'm saying I'm a fake extrovert because people think I'm an extrovert, and I generally think I'm not. But if you are an introvert, there may be ways around what you've said to do. Do you have any advice for those who may be introverted as opposed to not so like as I wanted to, but wants to build a business?
I actually think for an online business, my belief is that more introverts actually are successful and more introverts run online businesses, because it is this idea that actually you can have a lot of time by yourself. You can do that deep thinking. You can create things, like particularly when I think about people that create courses and stuff, it's like you can just sit by yourself, like I'm just going to like do all this and do all this and create it, and you don't really need to be involved with anyone. So I actually feel like in my heart, I'm like, it's actually probably easier to be an introvert and run an online business. So I think it's like, again, like either way, like you were saying, you just know you have to take the time afterwards to be able to recuperate. And I actually was talking to someone who like was an introvert, and I'm going to this event in person, and she was like, I just got the virtual ticket because actually the travel and talking to people was like just going to drain me too much. So there is still even more and more options now in terms of like how you can be building both like how you run your business and actually how you interact with other people.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, if you had a looking glass and you were to project yourself like 5 years into the future, can you, because you're just like rocketing, like and raising the roof and all that, where do you see yourself? I'm interested.
I honestly, like, this question is probably like one of the worst questions, and like right now it's a really hard thing, and it's not because I don't have like a vision for my business, but I suppose I feel like at an age where it's like things could just change so drastically in the next 5 years. Like if I think about 5 years ago, I'm like, that is actually quite funny. I was writing an email yesterday where I was talking about like some blog posts I wrote in 2018, and I just never would have realized the person and the business I would have now. So my thing is very clear though. Like I know I'm going to be online. I'm not someone like, I've been here. I'm not about to disappear. That's like one thing I know. I'm like, will I still be continuing to be marketing and like helping people to grow their business? I'm pretty sure about that. Do I know the way it will look? No. Do I know where I live? No. Like they're the question marks.
I love it. I love question marks though. That means your future is your oyster. Future is your oyster. Your world
is your oyster.
World is your oyster. That's the word. I couldn't get it out then. Your word is your oyster. And actually, you, wherever you get to in 5 years' time, is going to be an amazing place. And you're going to take so many people with you. You're not doing this alone. You're making sure businesses are set up for success along the way. Now, I am so delighted that you have come on and that you've just given people those nuggets to set them up for success. Now, if you want to find out more and, you know, find Charelle and find out more, you're going to have to go down below, because that's where her socials are going to be, and you go and follow her immediately, especially if you're a small business owner and you are ambitious and you want to have success in your business and you've not even thought about marketing, or it's trickled into your mind. It's time to do something and do it now. Just below. Go and do it now. So thank you so much for being on here. It's been an absolute amazing, and I am literally going to be following you now to learn as much as I possibly can without having to take it on myself, because that's just not me. I want someone like you, and definitely do the same if you're listening. So thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
Look forward to joining on our next session, which is going to be episode 9.